Learning a foreign language and wondering if Mondly is a good app to use? I've been using Mondly for several years and I'm going to share with you the ins and outs and 10 ways that Mondly drastically improved my language learning. Plus, if you want to try Mondly out for yourself, you can use my special referral link to get a 95% discount that you won't find anywhere else. Hi, my name is Michelle. I'm the Intrepid Guide, your guide to language learning for travel. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, click on the bell notification so you get an alert when I post more videos like this one. In the meantime, let's get started. With so many different language learning apps out there, it's hard to know which one to use. With fun, bite-sized lessons available in over 40 languages, a chatbot and flexible pricing, Mondly is a great option. And this is my honest review of Mondly, which includes everything you need to know. Now, I adore Mondly. It's fun, easy to use, effortlessly slips into my daily routine, and includes just the right amount of gamification without distracting me from actually learning. And it has always been there, no matter which language I wanted to learn. Now, I first came across Mondly when I started learning Afrikaans and was desperately looking for language learning resources. Now, Mondly was and still is one of the few language learning apps that offers this bespoke language, alongside the typical mainstream languages like Italian, French, Spanish, and so on. Now, for the past 5 years, I've been using Mondly to supplement my language learning. I first joined Mondly when I started learning Afrikaans, but I also use it to refresh my French, and now I'm using it to learn Norwegian. And the best part is that I have a lifetime membership and I can switch between these languages at any time, plus access the rest of the range of language courses available on Mondly. What I like is that Mondly keeps the learning process enjoyable, and having fun is essential to the language learning process and is what helps you to push through when you hit a plateau, lose motivation, or you begin to tackle more challenging aspects of the language. Now, with that said, here is my review of this language learning app, Mondly, and 10 ways that Mondly has helped improve my language learning and how it can do the same for you. The first one is bite-sized lessons for a busy lifestyle. Now, running the Intrepid Guide is my full-time job and I can easily lose track of time, especially when I'm in the zone writing a language article or editing a new video. Now, when you have a busy lifestyle, it's easy to fall off the language learning bandwagon or stick to a routine. But what I love about Mondly is that I can spend as little or as long as I like learning my target language. And each lesson takes no more than 5 minutes to complete, which makes it easy to slip into my day. And I don't have to stress about how I'm going to keep on track with my language learning goals because Mondly keeps each lesson short and sweet. And I like to kick off my day by doing something productive and positive for myself, so I'll start completing my daily lesson in the morning. Once I start, I won't stop. So depending on how much time I've got, I'll complete at least 1 or 2 lessons. To help me create and maintain this morning habit, I use the learning reminder function to pick a time of day that I want to receive an alert on my phone. And this reminder pops up on my phone reminding me to go into the app and do my daily lesson. Number 2 is the ability to access a variety of language for a lifetime of learning. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I first used Mondly when I started learning Afrikaans. Now, variety really is the spice of life, and Mondly definitely helped me keep my language learning goals on track with my Afrikaans. Now, Afrikaans grammar books and general language material for learning Afrikaans still and was very limited. Now, not only did I really appreciate the fact that Mondly offers such a bespoke language, Mondly is a unique language learning tool that I feel grows with me as a learner. Now, as my language goals changed, Mondly has been there to support and offer me new language courses like the Norwegian one. Then when I was worried that my French was getting a little bit rusty, Mondly was there too to help me to revise it. Now, when my partner wanted to learn European Portuguese, I immediately suggested to him to use Mondly because they have that option to choose between Brazilian Portuguese and European Portuguese. Now, this is an important distinction that's too often overlooked. Now, if you want to learn English, you can choose between American or British English, which I think is just fantastic. You can also use the laddering technique to help you learn multiple languages. Now, not only does Mondly support over 40 languages, and this catalogue is constantly growing, it even allows you to choose any one of those languages as a basis to learn your target language. So, for example, to practice my French whilst learning Norwegian, I can set my native language to French and set my target language to Norwegian. Now that is what is known as laddering, where you use not your native language but another language that you're learning to learn another one. So it's like killing two birds with one stone. It's fun and an efficient use of my study time. Mondly offers context-based learning, and I mainly use Mondly to improve my vocabulary and expose me to new words. And Mondly does an excellent job of this. First you learn the new word in isolation, and then you learn it in the context of a sentence. For example, today I learned the Norwegian word for butterfly, and after a few exercises I progressed to phrases that featured this new word. Now this allows me to learn the word in context, but also revisit previously learned verbs and words and practice verb conjugations, and learn new adjectives that help me to remember the new word. I also use the chatbot to improve my pronunciation. And when you do a lot of self-study, speaking practice and improving pronunciation are either forgotten or receive very little attention. So to ensure I'm getting a well-rounded learning experience, I use the Mondly chatbot tool where I can simulate an audio-based conversation with a native speaker. I listen to the native speaker, then I record my own voice in response. In the other language learning apps, once you submit the recording, there is no playback, meaning you can't replay what you've said and actually hear how you sound. But with Mondly I can, so I listen back to what I've said and compare it to the native speaker and see where I need to improve. And this is such a handy feature which aids an important part of my progress. To supplement my language learning, I also have italki lessons every week, and this is where I get the one-to-one support and speaking practice with a qualified native speaker. And Mondly has gamification that isn't intrusive. Now gamification is huge when it comes to language learning apps, but having experimented with a few leading apps, I found that they were too gamified and too competitive. There weren't just leaderboards, there were leaderboards based on how many lessons you completed in a certain period of time. Now a little friendly competition can be a great motivator, but at some point you can quickly become more worried about winning and less worried about learning. And learning a language isn't a race. There is no finish line. Language learning is a journey, and a journey that should be enjoyed and free from stress. Now, as soon as you compare yourself to others and how much or how little you are doing in comparison, then it becomes too stressful. Mondly strikes a nice balance between providing entertainment through gamification, but also keeping me accountable and on track with just the right amount of exposure to these leaderboards. There is a completely separate tab to access leaderboards, so I can ignore it completely if I don't want to compare myself with anyone else, which can be very tempting, but I can also engage in some healthy competition if I want to. Mondly is travel themed and travel focused. Now as a traveller who enjoys learning the local language before a trip, I love that Mondly supports both my long-term language goals and short-term goals. Now Mondly is currently helping me with my long-term goal of learning Norwegian, where I can access verb conjugations and grammar explanations. But when I have a trip coming up to a place like say Vietnam or the Netherlands, it also supports me in my short-term language goals to learn those local languages. And this is where I use Mondly to learn the essential travel phrases and vocabulary that I will need for my trip. I can easily do this by skipping to those modules directly. I don't need to start from scratch and work my way up. And Mondly has a lovely travel themed interface as well, which really highlights the monuments around the world. And this acts as a subtle reminder of how useful and important languages are when it comes to travel. And this is something I feel really strongly about and talk a lot about here on the Intrepid Guide and about being travel fluent. And after each lesson, you get a summary of what you've just covered. And what I like most about Mondly is these little small touches that all add up to make such a big difference. Now it might sound small, but it is so helpful that after each lesson it gives you a summary of what you covered. And this allows me to easily transfer new words into my Google Doc where I keep all my language notes. By having a lesson summary, it means I don't have to stop during a lesson to record what I'm learning. And then I can easily put all these words into a flashcard app like Quizlet to revise later. Mondly is convenient and flexible too. Now when you start with a new language learning app or tool, usually you have to either pass a test before you can access lessons that are appropriate to your level, or in most cases you're forced to start from scratch. Now this can be incredibly annoying, not to mention a waste of time. And Mondly is great because it allows you to choose from the beginner, intermediate or advanced content. So when I was first brushing up on my French, I could set it to advanced, and for Norwegian I could set it to intermediate. Mondly is available across different platforms too, so you can learn on the go using your smartphone or tablet with their Android or iOS app, or use your desktop or laptop if you prefer working on a bigger screen. Last but not least is that Mondly offers a one-time payment for a lifetime of learning. Now, as the world moves more and more towards subscription-based services, I was grateful that Mondly still offers you the flexibility of paying a one-time fee that gives you lifetime access to all languages and updates, but also to new languages as they are added to the platform. Now, compared to other language services, this is a huge saving and the most cost-efficient offering that I have found on the market. If your budget is limited, Mondly's lifetime membership definitely pays dividends on its relatively small initial investment. So are you curious yet? Do you want to start using Mondly yourself? Well, click on the link in the description below and you can get 95% off Mondly's lifetime subscription thanks to my referral link. Now, you won't find this offer anywhere else. So, what language do you want to start learning with Mondly? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're serious about improving your target language, then download my free guide, 9 Reasons You're Not Fluent Yet and How to Fix It. And in the meantime, hit that like button, subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you get alert when I post more videos like this one. Until next time, thanks for watching and happy language learning. Ciao, bye.